Hi, one of the new features that they just released was to be able to link onto a choice board an activity that already exists in the activity library within Seesaw so that the kids won't have to leave the choice board. It will kind of do it automatically. So down here, I've already added our choice board, and there's an activity I wanted to link to that. So I have to leave that activity, which, yes, is kind of a pain, but does make it easier for the kids. And then you have to choose the activity that you want from the activity library. So remember to find that. You go to Activities, Add, Assign Activity, and it's going to take you to the libraries. I already chose this activity apparently twice. If you notice here, this one was the original made by someone else. And then in order to use it and assign it to my students, I went to edit, copy and edit. So now it's my own copy. Um, so that's the one I want and placed in. I already assigned it to my students. So I went through that whole process. Back to the class. So you can see that it's in the journal for the students. So you come down to the three everything dots and click on it. And there's now a new option here to get student link. And you just go here and copy the link. Click out of that. So now we're done with that. I need to go down to where I want to place it. So I'm going to go here to Edit Activity. And the place I wanted to add that was within the template. So I'm going to click on my template and it'll bring it up. And I know I was working on the social studies page, which was here, I believe. And that activity was from Scholastic Learn at Home. That was apparently that teacher had some sort of a subscription to that. We don't right now, but I'm just using it as an example. So I've already placed a snip screenshot of their logo, so the kids, I'm sure, were familiar with that. I'm going to click on that picture that I added, and I'm going to link it. So it comes up here. You just click, and Control V will paste it because I already copied it from the other activity, and now it's ready to go. So I placed it on, and now I'm going to show you how from the kids side how it actually looks when they access it, because it's a little bit different than when they're doing it in the activity library. So make sure you save everything because it deletes if you don't. All right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this activity as a kid. And as a teacher, you just, in order to test that, you go to Add Response. Oops, I want to add a response too. Because really what I want to do is have the kid for this whole day just use this choice board and work back and forth on the choice board. Then when they're all done, they can click the green check and move on. So that's what I want to limit the amount of scrolling the kids can do, because if they have, imagine what it will look like for them if they have, I don't know, 10 or 15 activities a day in here. So let's go and we'll go to the activity that I want to work on. This is if I was a child. They always have to pick their name. So we're going to be sample student. Remember, on the activities, whatever instructions the kids have, if there was a video up here, they would be able to play the instructions. In this case, I just have a template placed. So if I had a video, both the template and the instructional video would be here. So we can have them play the instructions. I really don't need to do that right now. I'm going to click out of it. And I'm going to go down to the link for social studies because that's where I want to work today. So as the kids are moving through these, remember they'd click on the links, go to social studies, and now I'm going to click on this link, and it's going to direct me back to my own drive. It looks a little bit different though than when it um, uh, if you notice, it almost kind of looks like the teacher section here. It shows the students who's turned it in already. So we need to just remember that we need to train our kids to always find add response. So if it takes you to the page, you can read the directions if you want, you can listen to the directions, but you want to go to add response in order to work at it. So here it's telling the kids they need to um, at, watch a story and so on. So they would do all those and then go to add their response. And it gives the child a chance to do some work on the drawing board. If they were supposed to do a photo, they could click here and it would show up whatever it is they're looking at. Let's see what we got here. So we could do a photo, we could do a video, or they could upload a picture that already exists. So maybe if they drew a picture of their community and they wanted to take a picture of it, they would simply have whatever they want in there and click one of the cameras and it will snap the picture. And then they can place it, they can adjust it. So if that child drew a picture on a piece of notebook paper, they could still input their activity right here. Okay, so I'm going to actually delete that. That's really a horrible picture. All right, they could actually, after they could say my house and maybe label that, move that, choose one of the drawing tools, can draw their house, they can make it different colors, and then they could come over here and they could do my school. Again, click and drag, and all these things are things you need to teach the kids. And by the way, it helps if you teach them always drag from a corner, and it will keep it properly sized. Otherwise, it can really make it difficult to, like, they're going to end up with labels that really don't look as nice as they'd like. So always try and teach them to drag from the corners when possible. So they finish their drawing, then they can go to the microphone. Maybe one of your directions was explain about your drawing. So they could actually click on the microphone. It tells them to start recording. And up in the top, you can see that it's already recording and you can hear my voice. And when the kids finish, here's my school, here's my friends, this is my house, done. And then it gives them a chance to actually play it. They can stop it. And if you see there's an X here, and that brings them back. This tells them they recorded it. I want to show you a little trick though. Hopefully this works. Really, anytime the kids record, it places, and the same thing with you if you were teaching through a set of slides and giving directions for your template, it's going to place a, almost like putting what do we call those, a transparency over something. It's actually, if you notice, you can click and drag and it separates. So sometimes kids will get into the they'll, maybe they didn't like the recording, they can't find the dots, whatever the issue is, they think they can't do anything, or maybe they locked it and then they can't unlock it. They don't realize that this is an overlay. So if they can figure out and shift it, then they can delete it. So then you would come here and delete, and the picture is still there, but then they can re-record. So it really is a complete overlay on top of something. And they can actually add little captions down here and they could talk about it. So if you were having the kids make a picture and then write a caption and they could read their caption to you, or our little kindergartners and preschoolers could just talk their way through it. This is my picture of my house. I hope you like it. And again, they can delete it. There's some choices here. You could download this if you needed to if maybe some lovely child said something inappropriately. You could always do that if you needed to. So then you could even have them do a little practice with their writing, but we know that that same little kid, that might say the same exact thing. So if you have them do the caption and they could read what they just wrote, then you could see if they have some of that invented spelling going on or whatever. Or they can just delete it. So we're good. So you can see caption is added. Notice that it's kind of a different shape here. So you'll want to watch for that when you do the feedback. So if this child was not yet done with the whole choice board that we did, well, if he was not done with this picture, he would draft it and he clicks it. It's gonna take him back. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, I'm not sure why it just went back like that. Okay, so Johnny's out and he just clicks out of that and he can go back into his choice board and finish up. So we have some options there for you to add links directly to Seesaw, and that's what it looks like.